Hello, this is your BAFA Librarian, Shannon Jackson. Today I will be reading the first chapter of One Killer Problem by Justine Pucella Winans. This book is a mystery novel, and it is also one of the 2026 nominees for the Oklahoma Library Association's Sequoia Book Award. Take a listen to this first chapter and then come down to our library to check it out and read the rest. Here we go. 1. A mystery club that can't solve mysteries. The Westbridge High Mystery Club has many talents, but solving mysteries is not one of them. It is not exactly their fault. There aren't a whole lot of mysteries to solve, other than who is screwing whom in questionable school locations, what the hell goes on in AP classes after they take their tests in May, and who thought it was a good idea to keep a mandatory swimming unit, even in the dead of Northeast Ohio winters. It doesn't stop them from trying, though, but this time they're going a little too far. "What are you two doing in Mr. Ford's room?" I ask. Mary, one half of the club, answers, "I know this is your Friday study session time, Gigi, but he's not even here yet and will only be a minute." She pulls an old phone and a roll of duct tape out of her bag like that's normal. "We have as much right to be here since he's our math teacher, too." "Yes, but I'm not duct taping something to the bottom of his desk," I counter. She crosses her arms over her chest. Her brown eyes somehow manage to catch even the smallest rays of sunlight through the windows to sparkle. Her curly black hair falls gently over her pale skin as she tilts her head towards me. God, she's so pretty. Her whole aura is just like sunshine and butterflies. With the smirk she gives me, maybe it's me that has the butterflies. Regardless, I'm not the kind of sapphic that makes a habit of really disagreeing with hot girls, especially not Mariella Deanda, not only because she's my older brother's best friend since they were in first grade, but because I've had a major crush on her for almost as long. She adjusts her skirt before sliding underneath Mr. Ford's desk, and my face heats as I look away to avoid seeming like the pervert I currently worry I am. "Sean," I ask the other half of the mystery club, "do you want to explain what's happening right now? I'm not the type to snitch, but this is really weird." "Official club business," he answers. Sean's my best friend and a total sweetheart, but he looks intimidating as hell. Like if you took Timothy Chalamet, put him in that machine that made Captain America, and then made him live in a post-apocalyptic world for a minute. Despite being the same age, I look and feel so much younger. I roll my eyes and unzip my backpack to grab my lunch sack and math book. Mr. Ford will give me shit if I'm not ready to go when he gets back with his own food from the teacher's lounge. You can't have official club business if you aren't in an official club. Mary slides her hand out from under the desk. "That's the whole point. We're trying to become one so Ethan can't kick us out of the club room." "He's trying?" I ask. Their club room is big, for a storage closet. It literally just has a table, a few chairs, a whiteboard on the wall, and bookshelves for the English department that have titles so old the pages are dehydration yellow and have more penis drawings in the margins than not. Sean unfolds a paper and slides it towards me. Eviction notice is printed across the top. Dang, our student council president is so extra. But will he even approve it? Mystery Club is hardly even a club so much as a community service group. Given the lack of mysteries, their tip line is mostly requests for cleaning and random odd jobs from other clubs. Mary and Sean seem to be fine with it, mostly because the two are so overworked from being top of their respective classes that twice-a-week meetings are like stress relief sessions for people like them that don't know how to actually relax. Mary almost slams her hand against the desk from sitting up so quickly. "First off, we're not called Mystery Club. Our club is called the Mystery and Thriller Literary Scholars. You know this. Literally no one calls you that. Second," she continues pointedly, "we are developing critical thinking and problem-solving skills by giving back to the Westbridge community through the impassioned and craftful solving of their day-to-day mysteries while connecting them to great works of fiction with literary analysis." With a smile, she flips me off. "That official enough for you?" So they're a book club that does bitch work. I can't lie, though. The way Mary puts it, it does sound pretty official. Now I know why her college app essay was about founding the club. Plus, it's cute when she shows off how smart she is. 10 out of 10, I reply, "I'm sold." "Thanks, Gigi." Mary rolls her eyes. "Happy to help." "We just need a faculty advisor and 10 members, and we are good to go," Sean says. He slides an interest form towards me. With his sharp features and size, I feel like I'm being offered hush money from a mob boss. What if instead of making fun of us, which is not helpful, you join us, which is, at least in name? Do I have to actually read books that aren't gay YA fiction or gay YA graphic novels, I ask? You don't have to read anything, Sean says. Not even this document. Just sign away your soul because you love us. Fine. I add my signature, G scribble R scribble, then print the full Gigi Ricci next to it. Merry early Christmas. It's April, Mary says. Happy early Easter. You're atheist, Sean comments. Screw you both. You're welcome. I slide the paper away from my textbook. Crap, what chapter are we on? Sean seems to read my mind and opens it up to chapter 18. He's right, I do love them. I look back towards Mary, currently dusting off her butt as she steps towards us. Okay, but why did you duct tape a phone under Mr. Ford's desk? She shrugs. We figure solving a real mystery might help, so we want to find out why everyone thinks this classroom is haunted. I open my mouth, but she beats me to it. No, we don't think it's actually haunted. But we can find out if someone's doing shady stuff in here, so I have a recording going on my old phone. I internally cringe. It wouldn't take 2 amateur detectives to solve that case. I could do it right now. As Taylor Swift would say, I'm the problem, it's me. And by problem, I mean the ghost of Classroom 212. Not in a spooky plot twist, Gigi Ricci, she's been dead for 40 years, kind of way. More like a Gigi Ricci is a little shit kind of way. Since I've been spending every Friday lunch with Mr. Ford for extra help, I've occasionally moved stuff around or left the occasional creepy note. Mr. Ford thinks it's hilarious. I also find myself hilarious, which is probably why I continue to do it. Almost like he telepathically heard me thinking about him, Mr. Ford appears at the door. He looks between the 3 of us, holding a Dave's Cosmic Subs bag in his hand. Are you 2 helping Gigi so I don't have to? That sounds annoyingly hopeful, I comment. You wound me, Mr. Ford. The fact that you are friends with 2 of my best students and still only do about half of your homework on time wounds me. It's got to be more like 60 to 75% now. He's just being moody. Don't forget my brother, I add, since Luca is also high in the rankings. I'm surrounded by nerds. He scratches his chin. Have you tried some kind of brain cell osmosis? Why are you using big science words when this is a math study session, I snap. Mary and Sean just watch our banter, trying not to laugh. Most people hate Mr. Ford since he's a tough teacher and sarcastic to the point of almost seeming mean. I can't trust anyone who isn't at least a little bit of a bitch, so I like him. Plus, he's really into watching the UFC, so my mom and I often run into him and his wife at the local sports bar when fights are on. Anyway, what do you 2 need? Ford asks, dropping his lunch on his desk, clueless of the hidden phone secretly recording us all, which is probably not legal, but what am I, a saint? We wanted to ask if you'd like to be our club advisor, Sean says. He holds out another form. If we don't become an official club, they'll take away our club room. Club closet, I say, causing Mary to shoot me a glare. Do I have to do anything? Mr. Ford asks. Just sit in on some of our meetings, Mary says quickly. You can work on other stuff. It's very low-key. Mr. Ford shrugs. Sure, maybe there's a slight raise or something if you're a club advisor. I'll look into it. He signs the form. Sean and Mary smile like they won the lottery at Disneyland. They give a bunch of thank yous. Did you want to study and stay? Mr. Ford asks. As if those 2 even need to study. I don't think I've ever seen either of them use flashcards or pore over their textbooks. With the amount of Pokemon Sean plays with me on weekends while procrastinating on homework, I'm pretty sure the jerk was gifted with brilliance, or a really solid memory. Either way, he's a perfect student without even trying, despite looking like he beats freshmen up for lunch money. Mary's the same. While she gives off the appearance of a bubbly, kind, straight-A student, I've never seen her read a single book for class, but she always has some cozy mystery or thriller on hand. It's annoying they both do so well with low effort while I can try to sit down and study for hours yet barely retain 3 words. Nah, Mary answers. We have to bring this over to Emma and student council. See you in class, Mr. Ford. Bye, Gigi. I'd be lying if I said my heart didn't skip a beat when that bright smile turned towards me. I open my brown paper bag. I'm responsible for my own food, which means whatever slim pickings are left in the fridge and pantry. My sandwich is as dry as my love life, with only some questionably aged prosciutto and cheese my aunt left after her last visit, with the addition of a small baggie of goldfish and dinosaur fruit snacks. I am both a 70-year-old nono and a 5-year-old child on a one-day road trip. Mr. Ford crosses his arms, giving me the most dad look someone who isn't your dad can give you. In fact, probably even more of one than my dad could give, since my dad looks more like a hipster lumberjack Jesus than someone who has 2 kids in high school. Mr. Ford has the whole stable, I have a 401k vibe with his button-up shirts and khakis. So, he says, heard you got detention again from another fight. My stomach drops despite myself. I had been so focused on thinking he was disappointed in me as a student, I didn't even consider that. How had he even heard about the fight? My teeth dig into my lip as I attempt to come up with an excuse that doesn't entirely sound like one. Mr. Ford sighs. Gigi, aren't you supposed to train martial arts for self-defense? Isn't the whole thing that trained fighters are supposed to be strong enough to know when to walk away from a fight? Damn, he's good at that. I'm not mad, I'm disappointed emphasis. He knows I train jiu-jitsu and have trained Muay Thai, and he's trying to use that against me. I already got the talk from my mom about how I'm not representing my academy well. Like the whole point isn't to be able to defend myself from bigger, hateful jerks like Kenneth Wright. It's almost worse coming from Mr. Ford, though. Like he had been rooting for me, and this was just another event to prove him wrong. I'm no stranger to being a disappointment, but it hits different when it's a teacher who seems to believe in me. I tried to swallow away the pulling guilt by pushing down on my stomach to help me expel the sinking feeling like trapped gas. Mr. Ford's not being totally fair. He just stated the fact that I got in a fight without hearing my totally reasonable why. Yeah, but this was self-defense. Kenneth shoved me into a puddle, totally unprompted. Mr. Ford raises his eyebrows. Unprompted, huh? My face flames. He's too good at knowing when someone is guilty. He started it. He said I looked like a guy. And it was the way he said it, with a sneer that told me he wasn't really commenting on my short hair and slight muscle definition, but the fact that I look queer, and to him that's a bad thing. And what did you say? I can't meet his eyes. I said, then call me daddy like your mom did last night. While he would never admit it, I swear he had to bite back a laugh. That's kind of a prompt, Gigi. No excuse for him to get physical, I mutter. If Mr. Ford could cross his arms harder, he would right then. But that's an excuse to break his nose? I'm not gonna lie, it felt good to shove Kenneth down and smash my elbow into his face, just once. After that, I got up and walked to Principal Daniel's office before Kenneth could go there and cry about it. Still, I stand by my decision. I got some bad scrapes, and I could have snapped my wrist if I didn't train break falls all the time. And worst of all, I grabbed the EV keychain from my backpack, stained in mud and torn at the neck, so he's one shake away from being beheaded. Look how they massacred my boy. Mr. Ford sighs, taking a seat at his desk. Okay, Marlon Brando, how about you tackle those Chapter 18 problems instead? I bite again into my sandwich, and all my saliva instantly drains. I could probably live on prosciutto and cheese if it wouldn't require a daily double dose of Miralax, but a little giardiniera or condiments would go a long way right now. Besides, the last thing my IBS needs is to pendulum to constipation side. I have plenty of time to finish it later in detention, I mumble. I look back up at him. You wouldn't happen to be running it today, would you, in case I need help? On a Friday? Absolutely not. Mr. Ford pulls out his own lunch, a beautiful-looking sub sandwich. While my lunch is fancier than usual thanks to my aunt, I would kill for some of those condiments. He sighs, dropping his voice like he's mostly talking to himself. I've got another annoying meeting that will keep me here late, though. Looks like both our weekends are off to a great start. I suck down half my water bottle before being able to go back to my sandwich. At least we have something to look forward to with the pay-per-view fight tomorrow. Will you and Mrs. Ford go out to watch? Of course. That card is stacked. Mr. Ford rolls up his sleeves, voice brimming with excitement. Where are you all watching it? Usual spot? By you all, he means me, but mostly Mom and the other jiu-jitsu coaches they watch the fights with. I'll ask my mom and let you know if I catch you after detention. I finish off my sandwich and dig into the goldfish. You happen to see any of the weigh-ins yet? No, but since this is the first time you could have watched them considering you've been in class all morning, including my own, I assuming you haven't either. I smile under his pointed look. Of course, Mr. Ford. I always pay total and complete attention in all my classes. He sips his drink. Honestly, I never watch those. Everyone looks so sad and hungry. Some of those weight cuts are brutal, I agree. He leans back in his chair and tosses his hands up for emphasis. I know I'm no fighter, but I'm only a fan, but it seems so unnecessary. Those aren't even the weights they'll be fighting at anyway. Like, can't everyone fight at their natural weight? And I'm pretty sure the origins of weight cutting were from mob bosses having a boxer weigh in at 150 and fighting at 180 or something. If it started as cheating, why is it still in practice? I can't exactly fact-check him on that, nor do I really care to. He has a point. Besides, I know Mr. Ford can't stand any kind of cheating. I copied from Sean's homework one time, and he went off talking about how life is already unfair enough, and I shouldn't play into it when I could apply myself or something. He didn't get me in real trouble. I'm good enough at doing that myself. But we did have to spend the next Friday extra help session doing the whole assignment together. Anyway, he says now, stop distracting me and solve for X on page 198, problem 1A, then let me know what you get. I didn't even glance at the page yet. I turned over to the first question. The fact that question has parts all the way to H is a freaking scam. Mr. Ford probably laughed at the faces of relief when he said the homework was only problems 1, 4, and 8. I read the problem a few times and already feel frustration rising. I look up. We can use calculators on the test, right? Of course, he says. I'm not a total monster. I search through my backpack, but I can't find it. Shit, I mutter. I must have left mine at home. Want me to call back Sean and Mary for the mystery of the missing calculators? Mr. Ford teases. He's already reaching for his desk to grab one to let me borrow. Ha ha. I stand up to grab it. Maybe the ghost took it. Mr. Ford rolls his eyes. Hate to break it to you, Richie, but we're the only ones haunting this classroom. And that's the end of Chapter 1. Come down to the BAFA Library to read more.